Okay, so there's this. You talked about niching down, and that's it's an interesting word, because I was just about to. I was definitely going to talk about it on this particular session, because there's this thing about niche down or specializing. Isn't it counterproductive, or isn't, like, wouldn't it make me, how will I put it now, as a business, wouldn't it make me endless? Shouldn't I generalize? If there's one thing about me, I'm always the fan of specializing or niching down. And it's actually good when I hear other people in other industries talk about this niching down, because I think there's a law in branding called the law of contraction. It basically says that you should focus on one thing at a time. Just focus on one thing at a time. And if you're in a business that is already filled up, like everybody's doing the same thing, find an aspect, create a new category, find something that is new in that, and create a subcategory out of that category per se. So niching down, I would say that it's quite interesting to hear niching down from a social media marketing or a social media management perspective. Can you please put more light on that for us?
All right. So, as a social media manager or a digital marketer, I've seen a lot of business say, I do fashion, right? Okay. So under fashion, we have a lot of, subsets, right? So we have clothing, we have accessories, we have, accessories might include jewelries and the like, but we have footwear as well. There's a lot. So when you say you do fashion, what sort of fashion do you do? Then you begin to hear, oh yeah, I do. I'm into clothes. I make ready to make wears and all of that. And I say, oh okay. So even on that, do you sell luxury brands such as maybe the Gucci, the Fendi? Are you locally made as to your own brand, or do you make your own thing as to cultural wear such as Ankara lace and the rest? And then you hear them say, oh no, I import in, I sell luxury. Okay, so we now know what your brand is. And then I hear them say, oh, we're self-made, we make locally, we have artisans that do this, that do that, we have tailors, we have things like that. So you are able to narrow down and help them get to their target audience by niching down to what they are actually doing. Now, if you know that something works for you, or this is what brings you more sales, why not concentrate on that? Why try to be everywhere at the same time? Even in your normal life, you can't be everywhere at the same time. It drives me crazy when I'm trying to do 100 things at the same time, and I have to do it. But then I'm like, okay, what if I just calm down and plan? How will I plan it? What will I do first? How can I accomplish it faster? Things like that actually helps me. So what of not think of a business owner that maybe does clothing, has a logistic business, has also runs an importing drop shipping group, does this, does that. You become confused because it's very hard to keep track with business. I don't know, because I own also by Bimbola, I import from different parts of, so it's really, really hard to actually keep. I don't know if it's just me or maybe I'm the lazy one, but niching helps you concentrate on what matters, helps your content as well, helps you know who your audiences are, and then how to leverage on that, kill it from that point before you even extend to another thing. Because when you kill one or get it right, let me not use the word kill, get it right on one, you will be able to replicate or even introduce something similar. I work with a brand in the in South Africa by my 9 to 5, and because we've spoken a lot for like a year, we're able to understand what works for the brand. It's a fashion business, but when I mean fashion, they sell tea, very unique tea. Yes, so this is their brand. They don't stray from there. They don't sell top and bottom, or they just sell top alone and tell you this is what they have, and they are trying to look for international buyers, which comes from ads that we run, and also local buyers that come from ads, as well as to also content that they put out. But you see, they take their time to understand, okay, so what do I need to put out for the month? They do video shoots, they do brand shoots as to what they're going to add on to the catalog on their website. They understand that this is what works. Now, I asked one time, how about you introduce maybe sunglasses? And she told me it wouldn't be possible, Abby, because if we do that, we're going beyond what we are actually known for. Now, recently she introduced a new brand, a new product, but not under that brand. Now, because they now know what to do on that particular brand, she's trying to replicate the results that she has gotten on this particular brand to the next brand. Guess what? It's also fashion, but it deals with ladies' scarf, right? Now, you can put it together and say, hey, it's the same thing, it's fashion, but it wouldn't work that way, because I'm coming here for the tea. I'm not coming here for the scarf. Build your own audience, please. That's the thing. That's what I always say. Build your own audience. Why not? Because if you want to, but get the first one right first. Because you can probably tell anyone, I built my business from 0 to about 100K followers, 1,000, retweets, this, that, and from that, it's not just the numbers. I rack in this amount of sales daily. Even on a slow day, I get about 3 sales daily, things like that. And then you can say, oh, this works for me at Abby Enterprise. I'm going to Abimbola Enterprise to leverage on what I've learned here on there. Now, every business has their own challenge. Or challenges at different times, but because you already have an understanding of sometimes it might not work and you need to go back to the start to figure out what will work, it will help you there. But putting everything together might just confuse you, especially if you're fashion. I think that all of them can work together, because fashion is really, really, really cute. You can do almost everything together. However, there's some businesses that you cannot combine. It's not possible. You can't combine it. I have an aunt that sells hair, and she also has the logistics. She's really tired of the logistics because she's always complaining. Abimbola, hey. Well, I said I wanted to go into it. She said, please don't do it because it's crazy. Because she has a hair business, and you expect that, okay, she be hair you're selling, you just sit down in your store. But it's hard to keep up with this one and that one. And although she's killing with the hair part, but the logistics is one trouble to the other, one this, so she's not really focused, and that is lacking. It would definitely, one will lack for the other. So why not kill it, and then know that even if you place people there, they're going to follow the structure that you have, and the new one, you can focus your attention on it. But if you say, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you're going to burn out, and the business will burn out, and it won't be successful because you haven't planned properly. A lot of people that do different businesses have a lot of staff at hand. They have people that will break down their strategies after they've summed it up. They have money to hire people that can term it. Except, well, I mean, you're a genius and you can do all things through Christ that is in you. It's possible that you can. It's possible that you can achieve all of these things. But I always say that focus on one, get it done, and then move to the next. I don't think that any brand. I think Toke started a bag brand, which I totally love. A bag brand, and then got a lot of audience from that, improved it, and kept on giving us back to back at the bag level before she introduced a scarf. Right now, this way, Toke Luxury is when you think about it, you know that she's bag first. I don't even remember that she has scarves, right? But bag first. But she made sure that she killed that part. And then she also has, like I say, she has a lot of people at her beck and call that could run that business as it is. However, leveraging on the opportunity that you have conquered one would give you a lot of confidence to carry on to the second or the third. And also, people can see that you're killing it, and you can even become an influencer in your community. That's something that you should know, that business leads to business, right? the fact that you see an opportunity somewhere doesn't mean that it will necessarily pan out to be successful or a success at all. So you need to learn to first win at one. Win, and I mean not just get a couple of sales and say yes I'm good. Win well, and then move on to the next. And that's it really.
Oh, okay. I'm really, this is really interesting, and I'm happy that I'm hearing this from you, because so that my audience will not, or the audience we have here on Brand Talk will not just think, because mostly when I talk now, I have a graphic design, branding background, and all. So people mostly think, okay, maybe it's interesting hearing someone else, and I believe in niching, I believe in specialization, because just like you said, establish with this, let people know you for this, and then it will give you the blessing to expand to other. Look at Apple. Apple started with personal computers. Before we know it, they killed personal computers, moved to smartphones. They've killed smartphones now.
Exactly.
And Apple is going into electric cars, and trust me, they have our blessing, because we trust them enough that when the electric cars finally come, yes, we have Tesla that is doing an amazing job when it comes to electric cars. I also know that when Apple come out with their own in a couple of years time, people are still going to trust, because these guys have been able to cook foods through personal computers, iPods, iPads, the iPhones, that they know what they're doing. And then also for big businesses, because it's all about brand building. These small businesses of today will become big businesses of tomorrow, right? Even when you have all the finance, all the manpower, the structure to actually run multiple businesses, just like you said, it's still a safe bet to separate them. The brand I like to use best in making this illustration is Coca-Cola. Go to Instagram, you will never find Coke, Fanta, and Sprite under the same account. They are owned by the same
company.
For Coca-Cola, Coke has its own different Instagram account. Sprite has its own different. Fanta has its own different social media account, and you see that they are all branded towards a different target, or specifically targeted towards a different audience. However, they are all still owned by the same company, Coca-Cola. So big businesses can do that. I just find it difficult when businesses come to me and like, oh, we are doing this, and that, and I want to set up our social media account, want everything. It gets tiring, honestly. It gets tiring. But I appreciate the fact that you've been able to expand more on this.